How do you lose 6.5 stone, 91 pounds or 41.2 kg? Here's my story. Growing up, I was always the plump teenager, the fat child, the chubby toddler. There was always a name for me. I was big boned. I was everything under the sun, and that really did affect my psyche. It really affected the belief in myself, because you know what, people are cruel, and some people say things out of good intention and they don't intend to hurt or harm others. But as a sensitive child growing up, I took it to heart. So having all these labels, all these names attached to me, I rebelled a little bit, and I would eat as a form of rebellion. I would be like, you think I'm fat? Well, I'll show you what fat is. So I used to eat as a form of taking control. And I remember once growing up, we had a Woolworths not far from us, and my mother used to go in and buy, you know, a bag of these mixed chocolates, and she used to always give me one, and she used to say no more, because you know you need to lose weight. And I promised myself that when I was old enough and I earned money, I was going to go to Woolworths and I was going to buy all the chocolates that I wanted and I would eat them. And sure enough, that's exactly what I did. And so my weight problem started from a child, from as early as I could remember, and that developed into my teenage years and then onto adulthood. And growing up, I had suffered with a lot of health problems, and every time I went to the doctor, they would tell me, you know, you need to lose weight. And I was like, you think I don't know that? You know? And there was never ever any constructive means to help me do that, other than just constantly being told you need to lose weight. So this was my pattern throughout my life. I knew I needed to lose weight, but when I was getting the negative comments in my ears, what I would do is I would rebel, and I would turn to food as not only as my comfort but also as my weapon against those people who were telling me that I needed to lose weight. So fast forward into my late 30s, I became severely ill, and I developed a condition called lupus, SLE, and it affects my heart and my lungs and my joints. And as part of my recovery, needed to have steroids. Now, if you know anything about steroids, steroid tablets in particular, they can increase appetite, and my appetite just skyrocketed, partly because of the medication, but partly because of mindset. And also, again, this rebellious attitude kicked in, and that really didn't help me at all. So my weight skyrocketed. It skyrocketed to over 21 stone, and that was my absolute heaviest. I was bloated, I was swollen, my joints were really bad. I was diabetic. So all my health problems compounded, and the heavier I was, it meant that I didn't have the energy to cook, didn't have the energy to go out and move, and didn't take care of my appearance. Just my whole mindset, everything was in such a bad place. It really was. Well, it culminated one Christmas. It was Christmas 2018, and me and my son, we had a lovely Christmas at home, but we ate for a family of 10. We really did. So a couple of days into the new year, we were watching movies, and at the end of the night, I couldn't get out of the sofa. I really struggled. So my son literally had to haul me out of the sofa, haul me out, brace himself and haul me out. And at that point, that was my moment, and I was like, something has to change. I am not going to be in a position where I have my son care for me, clean me, cook for me, shop for me, look after my personal no, that was not going to happen. It was just not going to happen. So at that point, I decided enough is enough, and in the moment I decided I was going to do something about not just my weight, but my health and my life. This was a life-changing moment for me. I knew something had to give. And in that moment, I realised that while something had to give, I had to change. Because over the years, I had been in and out of different weight plans. I'd done Weight Watchers a number of times, Slimming World, I'd done Cambridge diet, I'd done the Atkins diet, I'd done the cabbage soup diet. There were so many different things. I'd done, intermittent fasting. I've done so many different things, and some of them worked better than others. And at one point in my younger days, I actually was a Weight Watchers member and got almost got to my goal, and I gave up. And then the weight crept back on, and from my starting point when I was about 18 or 19 to when I rejoined for the last time, there was a huge 9.5 stone difference. I'd gained 9 stone over the course of the years, and I realised something has to give, something has to change. So when I took the time to reflect over a period of time, I realised a few things about myself. I realised that I give up really easily, and I realised that if I was going to change, I'd have to stick at something. I would really have to dig my heels in and give it the best chance possible without giving up. So when I rejoined Weight Watchers in the January of 2019, I decided I'm never going to give up. And it wasn't about not giving up on Weight Watchers. No, it was deeper than that. It was about not giving up on me, because I'd seen the journey of giving up and how destructive and how detrimental it was to nobody other than to myself. It didn't matter about Weight Watchers or Slimming World or all these plans. They weren't suffering. The only one who was suffering was me, because I had given up. So in that moment, I decided I can't give up. Something has to change, and I'm going to invest in me. and put time in me, and I'm going to change my life, not just my weight, but my life. Because being fitter, healthier, stronger, positive mindset, I could do anything and everything I wanted to do. And being unwell and being unhealthy was preventing me from living my life. So that was the first thing I wanted to do, was to really dig my heels in and not give up. Now, this might sound a little bit controversial, but I realised that, and you know, at Weight Watchers teaches us to put good habits in place. Slimming World teaches you to put good, healthy habits in place. Any mentor, any coach, any weight loss or wellness trainer teaches you to put good habits in place. And one of the things that Weight Watchers taught me was the habit of weighing weekly. That was how their model was built. You know, you follow the plan, you go to a weekly weigh-in, and then you get your results and you start again, and everything is geared around that weekly weigh-in. And that's a habit. That's a habit. Now, for some people, that habit is brilliant and it works really well for them. But what I realised personally, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the Weight Watchers plan, and I have lost all of my weight on the Weight Watchers plan. So don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it for 1 second. But what I did realise was Weight Watchers had instilled in me a habit that wasn't helpful. And that was the habit of the scales and the weekly weigh-in. Now, you have to find your own journey, and this is my journey that I'm sharing with you. And I learned over the years that I had become so controlled by that number on the scale that it wasn't helpful for me. And my first 3 stone came off in about 2 years, because, you know, I would lose a little, then it would stop, then I would gain a little bit, and then I would lose it again, and I was yo-yoing. And that was fine, because at the end of the day, it was still a couple of stone off. But that habit, you know, and we're taught those habits of moving more. What does that look like for you? Make that a habit that works for you. What does your mindset look like? Make that a habit for you. You know, your portion sizes, how you eat, all of that, make that a habit for you. But Slimming World come to that taught me that weekly weigh-in was a habit. But for me, it wasn't helpful. It was quite detrimental. Now WW has moved away from that a little bit, which is really good to see, and they're encouraging, you know, members to find their own path. And for some members, weighing in daily may help them. For some people, weighing a couple of times a week, or once a week, or a couple of times a fortnight, or once a month, whatever pattern works for them, go with that. And that's brilliant, and that's really good to see. But for all of those years previously that I was a Weight Watcher member, that was a habit. The weekly weighing was a habit that wasn't helpful for me. So what I do now is I have moved away from the scales, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment, and I'll tell you what I do. The other thing that I've realised that had to change was this mindset of putting in, and I'm going to be really honest here, I'm going to be super honest, and the reason I'm making this video is because as I'm telling my story of how I've lost this weight, it might help you. You might find yourself in my story. But what I realised was I was putting in a little effort and expecting huge results. I'm being really honest. I would come away from my weigh-in and I'd be like, right, okay, this week I want to lose a pound or 1.5 pounds. I wanted the result. But then when I honestly looked at my actions wasn't supporting the outcome. I was still eating relatively what I wanted when I wanted, the portion sizes I wanted. I was putting in, an inch of effort and expecting a yard or a metre of results. And I realised that if I put in an inch of effort, I'm going to get an inch of results. And if I want a metre of effort, I've got to put a metre of results in. I really have to. So that was something that really had to change for me, and I had to be honest about that too. And I had to come away from the thinking, oh, the plan doesn't work for me. And I realised the plan didn't work because I wasn't working it. Nothing to do with the plan. The science was there, all of all the technology, the science, everything was there. It was me that wasn't working, and I was coming up with all the excuses known to man. Every excuse that was out there, I had it, and I even made up a few new excuses too. I had every reason under the sun why the plan wasn't working, and really what I was saying is, I don't want to change. That's really what I was saying. I don't want to change, but I want big results. So I had to be really honest with myself around that. And then I would look at other people's results and I'd be like, they've lost 3 stone in 4 months. This plan definitely isn't working for me. Or, why are they getting results and I'm not? Again, it was very much a mindset around what I was doing or wasn't doing. And then over the years, from I was 18 right up till, the last 4 years, there was that feeling that the grass is always greener. I'm leaving leaving Weight Watchers and I'm going to go and do Slimming World because I've read that somebody's lost loads of weight on that plan. Or I'm going to do intermittent fasting because somebody I know has lost a stone in 2 weeks. I was always chasing something, chasing the scales. That's what it was. I was chasing the number on the scale and always believing that the grass was greener elsewhere. And then when I decided to go back to WW, that chasing was still happening because I was like, we've gone from flex to my way, or we've gone from my way to personal points, or I want my green plan back, or I want my blue plan back, or I don't like the purple plan. It was just excuses. It was absolutely, bottom line, just an excuse as to why I was, and I'm going to say it, whilst I was too lazy to invest in myself, it was just another excuse. Because what I'd learned was that it doesn't matter what the plan is or what the plan's called, it is still healthy eating. It is still about a lifestyle change. So I was always chasing something. So all of those things hindered me from reaching my goal, and also contributed to me losing my health, gaining 9 stone, being really, really ill, ended up in a hospital bed on years and years of medication, really unhappy, lots and lots of pain every day. Every day I still live with pain. Pain is now a feature of my life, as is taking medication, going to hospitals, doctor's appointments, consultants appointments. It's a feature of my life. And one of the things that I decided when I rejoined WW is that I will never, ever, ever say that the plan is too expensive, that I can't afford it, that I can't afford good quality food, and I can't afford to look after my health. I will never ever say that, because that will be another excuse. Because let me tell you, being ill, being sick, that is the ultimate price you'll pay. And I paid it. When I'm lying in the bed and I can't spend time with my son, I can't take him out, I can't just do regular family things because I'm in too much pain, that's expensive. When you lose years of your life because I'm so heavy, I can't walk without excruciating pain and agony, that's expensive. When I can't even, run for a bus, that's too expensive. When my feet are swollen, that's expensive. When I have to go up the hospital every week or every month to see my consultant, and every week in my doctor's surgery, that's expensive. So all of these things were things that I came to that realization. Yeah, so I really had to dig really deep, and I had to throw away all those excuses. Had to throw them away. I had to recognize them, I had to acknowledge them, I had to explore them, and then I decided to bin them. And all of that prevented me from living a healthier life. And it's deep, but that is what I did. Those were my realizations. So how did I turn it around? As I said earlier, to date I've lost 6 stones, 7 pounds, 91 pounds, which is 41.2 kg. And it wasn't easy, let me tell you that. It's not easy, but you know what? Anything in life that's worth having isn't easy. But I'm so much better for it. So much better. And I'm going to share with you how I did this. Now, I will just say that all of that weight I've lost over the course of 4 years. Since 2019. So it's not been overnight, it's not been quick, it's been a process, but more importantly than that, it's been a lifestyle change. So I had to make a lifestyle change. I had to invest in me. plain and simple. I explained, I just a moment ago set out my realizations, and in order to make that change, I had to flip it. So I had to make a change. I needed to make a change. I knew that what I was currently doing wasn't serving me. It just wasn't helping me, because I ended up really sick, really ill, and I still have the legacy of that now. I still suffer with lupus, I have arthritis, I'm type 2 diabetic, as well as all those other conditions such as fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. So, you know, I had to make a lifestyle change. I had to invest in me. And when I rejoined Weight Watchers, the thing that I did was I jumped straight in and thought, right, what do I need to eat? What can I eat? And started restricting everything, cutting out this, cutting out that. And I realised that wasn't sustainable for me. And now it took me a while. And if you're at this point of the video, then I'm hoping that what I'm going to share with you will really speed that process up for you a little bit, because it took me a long time to get to this point. So as you know, with the WW plan, we have 4 pillars. There's food, mindset, activity and sleep. And I found myself focusing on the food pillar. And if you have a chair, if you take a chair, you look at a chair, what has it got? It's got 4 legs. And those 4 legs gives your chair stability. If one of those legs are fallen, you're going to be wobbling, you're going to fall off, it's not going to work. And you can't sit on a one-legged chair or a one-leg chair or a 2-legged chair. You just can't do that. You need 4 to give you that balance and that stability. And I looked at the plan like that. Eventually I realised actually there are the 4 pillars: the sleep, the mindset, the activity and the food. And if we're just focusing on one pillar, it's going to collapse. We just can't do that. We can't, it's not going to support us. We can't even focus and lean on 2 pillars, food and activity. It's not enough. We're going to still be unstable. We can't even rely on 3 pillars: sleep, food and activity. No, we need the 4. We need all 4 pillars, and we need to get them in balance as well. So I decided, I had the realization back in August. In August, 1st of August last year, 1st of August 2022, the penny dropped for me. After 3 years on the plan, the penny dropped. It dropped massively. And at that point I thought, okay, I've been focusing just on the food plan, just on the food pillar. I need to focus in on all the others. And I decided which ones were the most important for me. And I decided that the mindset pillar for me is the foundation. It really is. Because if my mindset isn't in a good place, doesn't matter what the food is, doesn't matter what the activity is, it's not going to happen. You know, I could fill my basket with the most delicious tasting healthiest food. If the mindset isn't there, I'm not going to cook it, and I'm certainly not going to eat it. I could go out and I can buy all the sports gear, all the leggings and all the t-shirts and all the trainers that is available, but if my mindset isn't there, I ain't getting them on, and I ain't doing a workout or going for a walk. So I realised that my mindset is the most important. So I started listening to podcasts, and I mean, I'm the podcast queen. I very rarely watch TV. I'm always listening to some kind of podcast. And I started listening off to lifestyle podcasts by medical doctors on YouTube, listening and learning about food and the body and health and weight loss, and and I learned so much. And even to this day, I still prefer to listen to podcasts. I love podcasts about health, menopause, about weight loss, about the food industry. I also love podcasts, even things, Christian podcasts. I love listening to Christianity and religious podcasts, and also even crime podcasts. I love listening to them because in everything there is something that I will take away that's going to help me on my journey. And then I realised that to help me on my journey, it's not about what I want. It's not so much about what I want to achieve that week, but more about what I was going to do to achieve it. So, I've now come away from that thinking of, I want to lose £1 this week, I want to lose £1.5. That doesn't even come into my psyche. Now I think, okay, what actions am I going to take this month? And I don't tend to focus so much about a week. I focus more around a month, or looking at a quarter, like a 3-month basis. And I think, okay, what actions do I want? How do I want to feel in a month's time, in 3 months' time? How do I want to look in that time? How do I want my clothes to feel on me? And what about my health? What does that look like? And being a type 2 diabetic, I'm always focused on getting my blood glucose levels within the normal range and keeping it steady. Because of my arthritic joints, my focus is to keep moving. As they say, motion is lotion for the joints, to keep my joints supple. So I'm focusing on moving. I want my clear skin. I'm getting a little bit older, and I don't want those wrinkles and those lines. I don't want those age spots coming. I want to stay as youthful looking as I can. I want to feel toned, and I want to feel strong, and I want my clothes to fit me really well. And those are the actions those are the outcomes that I want. I don't focus on that number on the scale. And then I think, okay, what do I need to do this month to keep my blood glucose levels within that range? What do I need to do to feel stronger? What do I need to do to get my jeans getting a little bit looser? What do I need to do? So then I'm focusing on those actions. I focus those in on those. And then at the end of the month, end of the quarter, that's what my measurement is. That's how I measure my success, because we all know that the scales will fluctuate. It's not always a true reflection. So that's why the habit of the scale, I've kind of moved away from that. Now, that's not to say that I never ever get on the scales, because I do. I will get on the scale before and after a holiday, because I want to see that progress there and then. Also, every couple of weeks, maybe every 6 to 8 weeks or 10 weeks, again, I will look at what those actions do. If my outcome is I want to get into that next size, or I want my jeans to feel looser, I will take my measurements, and then at the end of that period, take my measurements again, and then also step on the scale. So I've got different measures of success. I'm not just relying on the one. So the mindset, feeding into the outcomes that I want, the goals that I'm setting for myself, and then measuring that. every month or every quarter, however it might be. And I, for me, found that so liberating, totally liberating, moving away from that habit that the weight loss companies try to instill, to say, go to your class and weigh weekly. Now, again, I'm not knocking that. For some people, that works brilliantly. And I do believe that even going along, even if I don't step on the scale, going along and being connected, so I hear that information, I get that support from the community, that is incredibly important. It's just that I choose not to step on the scale, which is absolutely fine. So that helps me to make my journey a lifestyle. The other thing that I started to do, and again, this is something that I learned from podcasts and listening to medical professionals on YouTube, is to really think about my food. Now, on the WW, and this is why I love WW, because WW Weight Watchers say you've got your points, it's up to you how you use your points. So what that does, it provides great flexibility within a structure, which is brilliant. What I also learned from these medical doctors fits perfectly into that Weight Watchers structure that's working for me, because one of the things, and I really encourage you to check out, and I will put some links to some of these YouTube videos that I have watched. I really learned about not all food is equal. So whilst you have your points, I could easily spend my points on processed foods, on fried foods, on basically on crap. I really could. And whilst you will lose weight because you're staying within the points, for me, that's not the point. Because I don't want to lose weight and still be ill. I want to lose weight, be strong, be healthy, be fit. As I said before, it's so much more than that number on the scale. So what I realised was the food I was eating was poisoning me, and it wasn't real food. And that's another subject for another video. So I decided to go on this whole journey, within my wellness journey, I have multiple journeys, and one of these journeys is about the food that I eat, to look first at the quality of my food and then the quantity of my food. Because you could eat a small portion of crap. You really can. So I started looking at food, started reading labels of food, started learning about foods, learning what's in foods and how food is produced and made. So I'm on a journey to reduce as much processed foods out of my diet, because when I eat processed foods, all that is doing is putting toxins into my body, and it's the toxins that are keeping me and making me ill. So I'm on this journey to reduce as much processed foods. So my guiding principles is anything that is in a packet with more than 5 ingredients and that has a shelf life of 3 months or more. And that's a rough guide. Now, that's not to say that I eat like that all the time, because that would be a lie. You know, because I still enjoy a bag of crisps, I still enjoy a bit of chocolate, and I still enjoy some sweets, and I still enjoy a bit of alcohol. But for the majority, at least 70, I'd say about 70% of my meals now, I have reduced processed foods from. And so that includes things like the sugars, the colours, additives and preservatives. Where I can, I try and get rid of those out of my meals. And I am trying to adopt a from the soil to the plate mentality, from the farm to the plate mentality. So buying raw food and cooking it, buying fresh fruits and vegetables and cooking it, and where I can with my fruits and veg, eat, or well, more so my vegetables, eating it raw, unprocessed, because that way I'm getting more nutrients into my body. I'm helping to eliminate those free radicals, trying to get rid of those toxins. And as I say, it's a deep topic, and one that I'd love to sort of come back and do a video on at a later date. So I'm on this journey of reducing as much processed foods as possible, but introducing good quality, and then smaller portions. So, you know, my eyes are bigger than my belly, let's be honest, you know, but I'm on this journey of making my meals the size of my fist. So gone are the days where I've got these huge portions, but the size of my fist is the size of my stomach, and it is said that the size of your fist is the size of your stomach. So, you know, our meals should be the size of our fist, and anything over that, we're just stretching our stomach, which in the long run isn't good. So I'm on this journey to do that, and that's been really working for me, which has meant that I am eating much smaller portions of better quality foods. And because of that, because the quality is so much better, I need less. My stomach can hold less. And the other thing that I'm doing, which WW has really taught me, is to eat slowly, to really take my time and eat slowly, tiny portions on a fork or on my spoon, savor it, taste it. And by the time I do that, I find that that brain stomach connection has been made, and I need so much less food. So yeah, so those are the two key things that I've been working on, and that has really helped me to lose weight. And then my other third thing is activity. Now, because of my health, I'm not always as active as I would like to be, but when I am able to, I am out there and I'm active and I'm moving. And yes, sometimes I do have to tank up on those painkillers to be able to move, but where I can, I do. But even just simple stretches whilst I'm sitting really does help me. And it's something that I'm really working on. And then the other area is sleep. And this has always been a fairly good area for me. But in order to get it to be a good area, I've again had to work on it. I have created a sleep hygiene routine where I am totally relaxed. I have a lovely bath. I use lots of oils and lavender oils, lots of fragrances, gentle fragrances, beautiful clean bedding, really nice tidy and clean bedroom, brings my mind at ease. And over time that has really worked for me, and I've been able to get good quality sleep. And I say good quality, it's a lot better than it used to be because I've got that routine in place. And again, I'll do a video where I'll go into it a little bit more around that sleep routine that has worked for me. So those are the 4 things that I've done. Those are the things that I've worked on to help me lose 6 stones, 7 pounds, 91 pounds, or 41.27 kg in 4 years. It's not been overnight, but it's been a process. And what I realized is this is a lifestyle for me. I'm actually on holiday as I record this video, and so many of the habits that I've put in place, I just carry on whilst I'm on holiday. Gone are the days where I think, do you know what, I'm on holiday, I'm gonna eat as much as I can, eat every day, everything every day because I've paid for it. I'm gonna drink as much because no, that is not my mindset anymore. My mindset is I'm gonna eat when I'm hungry, and I'm gonna make good choices. Why? Because this isn't about the number on the scale. Being on holiday and whether I've gained weight or lost weight, it's neither here nor there to me. I don't care about those scales. I make those choices because it's good for me and my health. I'm investing in my health. So it doesn't matter whether I've gone out for dinner at a fancy restaurant or, you know, I'm sat at home eating and cooking and eating on my own. Doesn't matter if I'm on, you know, out with friends or family, or, you know, on a fancy holiday, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me where I am, what the scenario is. I'm making the best choice because it's me and my health. It's my health, because the way I look at it is, if a doctor said to me, if you don't get your blood glucose levels down, you're going to lose a limb, which is you know, really realistic for people who are diabetic. If a doctor said to me, Angela, if you don't improve your health and get your blood glucose levels down, you are going to lose a limb, let me tell you, I would do everything I can not to lose a limb, whether I'm on holiday or not. And that's the mentality I have. And that's come over time by working on my mindset. So it's not about where I am or what I'm doing, because my health is with me. I live this life. And because I live it, it's important to me. See, gone are the days where I used to go on holiday and come back having put on 3 or 4 pounds because I overate, I overindulged, or it was the holidays, Christmas or Easter, and I overindulged, and I thought, well, I'm having a week off. I'm having a week off from the plan, and I'll get back on it when I get home. Those days for me are gone. Because I can't go to my doctor and say, doctor, I'm on holiday, so when I get back, I'll sort out my blood glucose levels. I can't do that, because if I don't make my health a priority, I can go blind, I could lose a limb, I could suffer with all sorts of conditions. So that follows me everywhere. And that informs my choices. It really informs my choices. So yeah, for me, it's a lifestyle, and sticking to that lifestyle, finding the balance in the lifestyle that I want, and living the lifestyle. It's not a choice. It's not, well, it is a choice. I choose the lifestyle, but it's not a choice in the sense of, am I going to follow the plan this week or not? No, those days are gone for me. It's a lifestyle. And because I don't focus in on the number on the scale, I focus in on the lifestyle and my choices, then the results will come. They will come, and they will come in different ways. Being fitter, stronger, sleeping better, more positive mindset, feeling good about myself, feeling strong and healthy, my clothes feeling better, my confidence growing. All of those things I couldn't ever measure with a number on the scale. I just couldn't. And it's working really well for me, really, really well, and I'm happy with my results. When I started my journey back in January 2019, I had a goal to lose 100 pounds. That was my goal. I thought, I don't care how long it's going to take me. It could take me 10, 15, 20 years. I don't care. I don't care. What I want is to feel strong, fit, healthy, confident on my journey, and to feel well, to get up in the morning and to feel well. And I am now 91 pounds, only £9 off my 100. And you know what, just even saying that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. 91 pounds down, £9 to £100. And what a journey it's been. So guys, that's my story. That is my story, and I hope you find something of value in my story. I hope that you resonate with it, or resonate with something. And I hope that wherever you are in your journey, you could make the changes that you need to live the life that you want. So my biggest takeaway from today is choose the lifestyle that you want and go and make it happen. And secondly, redefine your habits. And if a habit that you've instilled doesn't work for you, or a habit that somebody has layered on for you isn't working for you, then take control. Take that control back and change it, because the power is yours. So guys, if you're still with me at this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. If you've enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button so other people can find it, and feel free to share this video too, as I hope it will help others. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, then hit that subscribe button. It is absolutely free. And also comment below and let me know where you are at on your journey. And if you want more videos with my thoughts, with the things that I've learned about the wellness and weight loss journey, then type below more and I will provide more videos. I also want to provide more cooking videos as well, to inspire you around that healthy, natural food that from the farm to the table, from the kitchen, do you know what I'm saying? That food that's not out of a packet, you know, from the farm to the table, from the garden to the table. If you want that type of food that is going to help you get that balance back in our bodies, to prevent us from living with acidic bodies that is full of toxins, where we're swollen and we're bloated. If you want more cooking videos around that, where we're moving towards that more holistic approach, where you're having alkaline foods that's going to get rid of all of that swelling and bloatedness and all that. If you want more of that, then put cooking video in the box below. Okay guys, that is it from me. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you soon. Take care now.